Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here, and today Google announced their new phones, and I have them right here, the Pixel 6 and their flagship, the Pixel 6 Pro. These phones have a completely new design in comparison to previous models and new colors as well. I've got the new colors, sorta seafoam and sorta sunny. In these phones, you also have the new Google Tensor processor, which I'm excited to test out. A lot more content coming soon after this video. Be sure to subscribe so you're notified when this goes live. However, let's talk about pricing before we unbox these phones. Pixel 6 starts at $599, which is pretty crazy, the pricing. And then their flagship is actually $300 more at $899. So a flagship phone at $899 is a pretty solid price point. So obviously there's differences between these two phones. We are going to take a look at what we get in the box, then of course get some hands-on, give some first impressions, and compare the Pixel 6, Pixel 6 Pro. Let's get started. Here are the new phones from Google: Pixel 6, Pixel 6 Pro. I also have a couple cases that we'll open up and put on the phone a little later on in the video. But as you can tell, very colorful options. I went with these on purpose. There are some more muted color options that Google offers if the color scheme isn't to your liking, and obviously a much different design to these phones. So let's check out what we get in the box, assuming they're going to be the exact same. This is the Pixel 6 Pro we're gonna start with, and right away there is a look at the new phone. Setting that to the side for just a second. The usual getting started guide, safety information, and a SIM ejection tool. And finally, a USB Type-C to Type-C cable for charging. It doesn't come with a power brick. However, you can charge up to 30 watts on both of these phones. And then you have an adapter, a male USB Type-C to female USB Type-A. Now I'll quickly take a look in the Pixel 6, make sure everything is the exact same. And what do you know? The exact same in the box. So now let's take a look at these two phones. Peel off the front paper on both of them, and then I will go ahead and boot up the phones. And while it boots up, we'll take a close look at the hardware because I am actually noticing a difference between the two. So down at the bottom, microphone, USB Type-C port, and one of the speakers. Also make note, this is more of a matte black color, whereas this is a very glossy, shiny color. Now this may differ depending on the specific color that you decide to go with. I personally like the more muted black on the side as opposed to the kind of glossier look, but that's just my personal preference. Now, on the right side, you actually have the volume rockers below the power button, so that's kind of interesting, an interesting choice for me. We'll take a look at that in just a second. And then up towards the top, you've just got your microphone, and again, a little bit different in terms of styling, just kind of a full color strip as opposed to just the bands up towards the top. Along the left side, just want to make note of the camera bump, goes all the way across. It's not too big, and they're just about the exact same size. And then on the left side here is where that SIM card slot is. And a close-up look at the back with the different colors, and you'll notice the camera system is also very different. The Pixel 6 has a dual camera system, and the Pixel 6 Pro has a triple camera system. So on the Pixel 6, you have a 50 megapixel wide angle lens and a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle lens. Exact same on the Pixel 6 Pro. However, you add an extra lens right there, and you'll see a fairly large lens. This is actually a 48 megapixel telephoto lens. So you got a zoom lens that zooms in up to 4 times optically, and then anything past 4 times is digital zoom. Overall, a very unique, iconic looking phone. It's very easy to tell that these are Google Pixel phones when you take a look at them. Anyways, welcome to your Pixel. I'm gonna run through the startup process, talk about anything that's noteworthy. First of all, the first thing that's noteworthy is that it's interesting that power button's so high up because my thumb rests actually on the volume rockers, and I have to move it up to the power button. And let me double check with this one, exact same. I kind of rest on the volume up rocker and have to move my thumb up. Also, with this animation going on right here, it is vibrating, so I'm getting a feel of the haptic feedback, and it feels pretty nice. Now let's set up our fingerprint scanner, and continuing through, you have to agree and then go ahead and hit start. Now, this is an in-display fingerprint scanner, so just go ahead and keep setting your thumb on down, lifting it on up. hold a little longer. There we go. This might take a little bit longer than a physical fingerprint scanner. However, I found that on-display fingerprint scanners have been fairly accurate, at least over time. They've gotten much better than they were, and I find that you figure out the location after maybe a little bit less than a week. You can pretty much do it by muscle memory and find the right spot. So we are all set. Swipe up to go home. And here is the Pixel 6 Pro. All right, we are on the home screen of both. Nice touch having a color coordinated wallpaper depending on the phone out of the box. Okay, so I quickly swapped wallpaper so you can get an idea of the bezels and talk about what is different. So a quick close up. Now the Pixel 6 has a 6.4 inch display, whereas you have a 6.7 inch display on the Pixel 6 Pro. So not only is the display larger, however, the Pixel 6 has a flat edge, whereas the 6 Pro, it curves down. You can also just notice a difference when looking at it from the front. The bezels are just bigger on the Pixel 6, whereas the Pixel 6 Pro looks a little bit more streamlined. Another big difference is the refresh rate. So you have a 90 hertz display on the Pixel 6, whereas you can get up to 120 hertz on the Pixel 6 Pro. You'll also get a bit of a larger battery on the Pixel 6 Pro, so I expect battery life to maybe be a little bit better, even though it has a larger screen and a higher refresh rate. The lower the refresh rate, the better your battery is going to be overall. Now, as promised, let's go ahead and grab those cases and throw them on very quickly. So here they are. They are translucent cases and both made with 30% recycled plastic. And a quick close-up of those translucent cases, kind of a harder shell, really not that flexible overall, feels very sturdy. And you can tell the darker color really covers up the color of your phone, whereas this more clear one still shows off the color that you got. If you're looking to get these cases, cutouts look very good. It's kind of a softer touch feel, very comfortable. It has some grip to it, and really doesn't take up much space overall on the bezels. So unfortunately for now, that is everything I can show off with the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro. More to come on the camera and the new Pixel features coming to these phones. I will make a follow-up video, so be sure you're subscribed. Drop a comment, let me know what you think about these two devices. If you're going to pick one of them up, which one you're gonna go with. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. As always, thanks for watching.